Welcome to Tuesday Talks with Shawnee Alliance Church.
It is our desire to invite you into conversations about the life topics and questions we all face.
Wherever you are in your faith journey, we invite you to explore the freedom found in a transformed life.
Hey, Shawnee Alliance Church. We are here. First episode of 2021.
The new season.
The new season.
New year, new you.
Ooh, never heard that one before.
Yeah, that's new.
For those of you guys that don't know, I am Zach Karcz, the communications director here, joined with
Josh Kennedy, student pastor.
And Bridgett Blood. I don't really know what I do.
We're still trying to figure that out.
Yes, none of us know, but she shows up every day.
I'm just going to give everybody a fair warning today. We've got the giggles.
Oh, yeah.
We do.
We've got the good vibes of just sitting in this space.
We were going to come professional, and we were having so much fun laughing. We're like, you know what? Let's roll with this.
Yeah.
It's funny professional.
We're not professional podcasters.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not really sure what that
We're
counts as.
relational pastors.
Yeah.
Really, that should be a book.
And we're just good friends.
We are.
You know?
We are.
Cheers. I have my
Salute.
LaCroix.
I've got my coffee.
I've got my Sprite.
We're a diverse group here.
Clink it.
So as we were kind of diving into 2021, we just wanted to actually take this episode. This episode is going to be silly.
Yeah.
I don't know about where you're at and where your heart's at with just the year that we have lived through, but one of my favorite things to do sometimes is just to listen to podcasts that I know are not going to be serious. We will have lots of serious conversations in the episodes ahead, but for today, we will have some deep questions, but what we kind of have done is we all have come prepared.
Okay.
Some better than others.
Some of us better than others, with some silly questions and some serious questions that we want to just share with you and spend some time together. So that's where we're at today.
Yeah. We're going to give ours and then maybe leave some room at the end for you to be able to chime in and hit us up with some questions of your own that you've experienced. So.
Yeah. And the thing about this is Josh and I have come with many questions. Bridgett just has had a rough time.
It's how it always works. Zach and I become so over-prepared.
We're so over-prepared.
And Bridget's like winging it on the fly.
Yeah.
That's how I go.
Actually, that couldn't be further from the truth.
I don't think we have to tell them for them to know that that's the truth.
That's true.
So do we want to dive in? We want to jump into some of these?
Yeah, who's going first?
Take the plunge. All right. I'll go?
Yeah, you go. Go ahead.
All right. Start off with the funny, like the lighthearted one.
Whatever you want to do.
That works better.
Maybe we can interweave some, you know?
Okay, so funny first, go.
All right. So my question for you two was, if you had to change your name, if you were forced to changing your name, because none of us we didn't create our names, but what would you change your first name to be if you could?
Huh. No joke. I always wish that I was secretly named Jason.
Wow.
As a young kid.
I could totally see it though. Your face.
And I was like, I don't know why. Like, Jason just seemed like the kind of guy who was cool, a friend of the people. Hey, there comes Cool Jason. And I guess
do you know anybody named Cool Jason?
Maybe my name it wouldn't just be Jason, but it'd be Cool Jason.
Like Cool Carl.
Yeah. I legitimately that's a legitimate fact that I had thought that through, that I was like, at one point I was thinking about changing my name legally when I was an adult to Jason.
Wow.
Oh, I thought you were literally going to say I was going to have it legally changed to Cool Jason.
Yeah, Cool Jason. Now that I think about it, Cool Jason is definitely better than Jason.
They just call you CJ.
People name their children all sorts of interesting names, so I think that's probably farthest from the weirdest name I've ever heard.
That's true.
There's some weird names out there.
Yeah.
We're not going to say any of them.
We're not. No. We're not going to say any. But I feel like as the years go on, it gets further from a name and just gets to be like a compilation of random letters that is like, oh, this is something. And then and then you got all those people that are like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. Aw.
It's the combination of the brand of my couch and my favorite bag of chips. I don't have. Oh my gosh. I've always really liked Bridgett because I've only met a couple of other Bridgetts. So I've never really wanted to change it. But I was thinking if I was going to pick a name that went with my personality, I feel like Gretchen would be a good name.
Gretchen. So when I call the van, for those of you who know,
oh my gosh!
For those of you who know
the green church van,
the green church van was I named her Gretchen in Chicago shortly after we survived a near-death experience. Joking, but no. Driving down the highway, she just seemed like that old bird. Like, I'm sorry if your name's Gretchen out there. You're not an old bird in our opinion, but yeah.
Can I just say how
Bridgett is wearing green today, too.
I don't... It's like a green-blue, unless I'm colorblind. I don't... It doesn't bother me, the name Gretchen, but Bridgett Blood sounds kind of scary to me. Like... Blood's a really cool name, but I feel like paired with Gretchen.
What do you have, Gretchen Blood?
like Bridgett Blood is like, yeah, it's got the BB sound. Like, okay, like that's a powerful name. Gretchen Blood just sounds like, I don't know.
My grandma's name is Rose, and so Rose Blood kind of sounds like Rosebud.
I was really afraid that you were going to reveal that her name was Gretchen, and then we were just like, I was just coming at her name like you were going to be like, my grandma's name was Gretchen Blood.
Well,
right.
You're already teeter-tottering on if our friendship is going to last past today.
Stepping on toes, yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I don't know. I was thinking of, because as I was coming up with, I was like, I don't even know what I would want to be called. Like, Octavius. Like, no, I'm just joking. I think the name that one time I heard and I was like, that's such a cool name, Roland.
Oh, cool.
I think Roland is just like such an awesome.
Like Roland?
Yeah,
Roland?
Roland. Yeah, I wasn't emphasizing the D. Roland.
Yeah.
It just sounds
Roland
cool.
Kennedy. That sounds
cool, and it also sounds like, prestigious. Roland.
It does sound like you should be wearing a robe and sitting by a fire.
Like in our Christmas video.
Like in the Christmas special.
That's funny.
So that was that. Now that you guys know some of our inside ideas on if we could legally change our name, just refer to Zach as CJ from now on.
And this question is to lead you into deeper life with Jesus.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
we hope that that's done that.
Okay. So my first question, I'm going to pick a serious question. If you had a different career, like what's a dream career for you that's like something silly people might not know about, or not even silly, but like if you had a different career, what would it be? That would actually like be fun to you.
I bet I know yours, Zach, CJ, cool Jason. You would be a professional gamer.
That is like, it's so hard to make it in that industry though, maybe.
Yeah.
We can have a little bit of non-reality to it, but just like if you actually really were going to try to do something else, what would it be?
Yeah.
To make money or money? Yeah, I mean,
something that could
sustain you,
sustain your lifestyle that you desire to live. Not like multi-million-dollar, but just like you can feed your family and live in a house and you're good.
Yeah.
Like what would that be for you? I will say this, even before I was a Christian, I really wanted to be a counselor. And I feel like that almost seems like the easy answer out because as a pastor, like I do have those opportunities. But like that was legitimately what I wanted to do before I went into ministry. And now it's just the way that I get to do that offers even more hope. Like at first it was just like, I want the ability to be able to sit down with people, to walk them through, issues and things like that. But that was strictly on like a worldly point of view.
Yeah.
It had nothing to do with Jesus. It had nothing to do with like the love and transformation that he brings. I guess that's my like non-ministry answer. Like,
It's fine.
Go
with your gut.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's a
gaming counselor. That'd be great.
There you go.
Like when
Yeah.
I remember like being a kid in school and they would have like the counselor, but they would like play therapy. So you'd like play with sand or have something else. So you play a video game, but you're getting counseling at the same time. There we go. There's your dream job.
There probably isn't one, so there's your ticket.
I need to jump right in there.
There you go.
know?
Yeah.
No, and then I guess to say something that like is not really close to what I do per se as my job. I would love to have like a woodworking shop.
Yeah.
To open up some like an actual building that I go to and make things and employ people, and I think that would just be awesome. Which that ties in a little bit to one of my questions later, but we'll save that.
Well, it's a perfect plug for our commercial. This is sponsored by Lumber Zach Productions.
Absolutely. Best cutting boards in town.
Right.
Yes, food safe.
What about you, Bridgett?
I asked the question.
Oh, so I got to go next.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I've thought, like once my boys are like graduated from high school and they've got their own lives, I would love to live in like the Caribbean. Like, I know that seems crazy. Like, hey, this is my dream,
Okay,
right?
that's fine.
And so I don't know.
What would you do there?
At first I thought like, man, you could make those really cool hats made out of the palm leaves. Like, you just sit on the beach next to a resort and you're like $10 for a palm leaf hat. I don't know. Maybe I could teach, like I could be, again, it's not about the money. It's just about living, a relaxed, comfortable life.
Okay.
So I don't know. Maybe I could run one of those glass bottom scuba boat, I don't know how to scuba.
The catamaran?
Yeah, I don't know how to scuba, but I just want to be on an island or something.
This is a good thing because I feel like this was Bridget's serious question.
I know, it's fine.
And now she's like,
I'm giving a serious answer.
It's okay.
Gretchen, what would you do?
I think I've been thinking about this a lot lately. I would love to be a health coach.
Oh, I could totally see you doing that.
Or
I could totally use that.
Or charge by the hour. Or I could be a fashion blogger.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, both of those would have to require more work in those areas. But I think that would be fun.
You're talented, so you could do all three. You just juggle all of them. You got plenty of time on your hands.
Have plenty of time.
There is definitely something to be said that as we're recording this, Josh and I are just in sweatshirts and jeans, and Bridget is dressed very nicely and like professionally.
For those listening who know us, this is just the norm.
This is norm.
We take a very relaxed approach.
Oh, my word. All right. Well, before this goes on anywhere awkward, I'm just kidding. Zach, what's your question?
Yeah. Do you want my serious one or my?
You pick. Because yeah.
Let's. I feel like this is a common question, and I'll go deeper if we all agree. Pineapple on pizza.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So we're all normal.
Yeah.
We all agree that pineapple definitely belongs on pizza.
It's so rare that at my house we don't get a pizza that has pineapple on it. My boys love it.
Okay, but like, are you just doing ham and pineapple, or do you have another topping?
So
it wouldn't just be like sauce, cheese, pineapple. Like
I'm fully prepared that people are going to judge me listening and between the two of you. But one of the most common pizzas we get at the Kennedy household, pineapple, onion, and green pepper.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't like onions or green pepper. I'm very picky with my vegetables.
You are.
But you can throw any fruit on a pizza, and I'm probably good with it.
Ew.
Okay, that was a joke. So let me take this deeper because we agree pineapple on pizza. We're the elite.
Yeah, thumbs up.
Where is the best pizza?
TJ's.
Are we talking local?
I'm talking any.
Oh.
But
Chicago.
any.
Yeah, Chicago.
For real.
I'm thinking
Guarneri's.
Giordano's pizza.
Or Giordano, yeah.
Giordano's Pizza.
Yeah.
Where's that?
There's one in Chicago, and they
There's
just
multiple in
opened
Chicago,
one.
yeah.
They just opened one, I think, in Columbus. The cheese is literally like 5 inches thick, and like you just like you feel awful after you eat it.
Well, you only have to eat like 2 slices max.
I could eat half a slice and be full.
I only have to, but
But here's the thing, and I apologize because if Giordano's ever thought about sponsoring us, they're probably not anymore. It's so good, but I cannot eat it because I will get like I would get so sick if I tried to eat like a full slice of their pizza. But it's so good.
Yeah, it's like super thick, like grandma's pie.
how do you eat your pizza though? Like how do you hold it?
I don't think you can.
The bigger the slice, I will kind of fold it taco-esque. Part of that is just because of my beard, all that facial hair. If you try to shove something that's like
You're wearing
too wide, I mean, it's in there. But this is probably a not very popular opinion. I am not that big of a fan of like TJ style pizzas. Like the square cut, like sheet pizzas and stuff like that. I will eat them for sure.
You like
no
a good
problem.
triangle pizza.
But I definitely prefer like triangle, but especially like a deep dish pizza. It's just I don't know what it is. I feel like I've lost some of your trust, Josh.
I would be lying if I wasn't saying that I'm sitting here judging you right now. Here's the thing. I'm not a fan of chain pizza places.
Okay.
Like the big, like Pizza Hut, Papa John's. One thing that Lima has an abundance of are mom and pop pizza places. Mm-hmm. And it's so rare, like Westgate Pizza, Fat Jack's, like.
I do think Westgate Pizza is good though.
Yeah, like all of these places, and the mom and pop pizza places generally all make them square cut. And so, Pizza Station, West Side, all like, I don't know. I love Lima's pizza selections.
Excellent. Next question.
What is one thing that you learned about God in 2020?
Stole my thing.
Did I steal one of yours?
I had what was a life question or a life lesson you learned, so that.
Yeah, right on. And it's a good thing you had an extra. You had a bonus.
It's good. You
2
stole
bonus.
mine. So what did I learn about God this year? I think my favorite thing that I learned, I went back a couple weeks ago and I just actually wrote some of the big light bulb moments down because I thought they were really important. The biggest thing for me in being a type A visionary, I want to know what I'm doing at 2:36 p.m. January 12th of 2033, right? That's just my wiring. I like to know. I have everything scheduled. I was thinking about the scripture that talks about the fact that his mercies are new every morning. And so that means that God's so secure in his sovereignty that he's okay with waiting until tomorrow to share something with me. He doesn't have to prove anything to me. And he's also not trying to prove his deity to me. Because if he was, then he would show up all powerful and be like, this is everything. This is who I am. You have to believe me. But he's okay with leaving space for me to wrestle through things because he's going to hold off until tomorrow to share it. And so that's been really helpful of taking off the pressure of I don't actually have to have everything planned out. And it's actually in God's kindness that he waits until tomorrow to share it with me.
Yeah. That's great.
This answer is pretty similar to the conversation that Bridgett and I had the first time I was on the podcast before I was on staff. We talked about Jesus in college. But the thing that I learned the most was the idea that I did not have to have my whole life planned out, everything together. Obviously, 2020 brought a lot of uncertainty to everybody, but not just in an uncertain way that I was like, oh, I don't have to have it all together. It was just the freedom to explore different things. The freedom to try just try different things. I mean, be adventurous. I started off 2020 with a completely different. I was in a completely different job, and I had different plans, and I had like, all these things that I was going to do and people that I was going to be around and places I was going to go. And a lot of those changed. But I also this past year picked up woodworking, which is something that I did in high school that I enjoyed, but tools aren't cheap. And so as soon as I got out of high school and went to work in ministry, I didn't have the money for it. But this year I felt that I had the freedom to try it out, to invest in that, and to go and it was just really cool to look at God and say, wow, like God is an adventurous God and will allow you, not just allow you, but encourages us to dive into different things, and that we don't have to have everything planned out and stick to exactly one thing, which was it was really cool. And I learned a lot about myself and my passions and things that I enjoy, but also like all along the way, realizing that, God is still desiring to show us the adventurous life. Mm-hmm. I always, somebody that I used to know, I almost broke into song there.
There you go.
Somebody I used to know would talk a lot about how they believed for the longest time that it was like, well, you can either have an adventurous life and have fun, or you can be a Christ follower. And it wasn't until he realized like those are one and the same, and I think that just God solidifying those things in me, that like he is the adventurous life, and he desires to allow me to dive into these things, to try new things, to explore, and just the freedom to do that has been really cool this year. Well, last year. We're in 2021 now.
Yeah. Yeah, for 2020. Yep. And I would say that mine, and it's kind of like, so this seems more of like a canned response, like right as I like initially say it. Because I think it's definitely something we all would hope to, but it was really trusting God and knowing that he's bigger through all of my circumstances, which, it's like, again, that's so easy for 2020 because we all faced brand new things that are new to not only our generation, but, the generations previous to ours in 100 years. But so, yes, of course, that dealt with like pandemic things and all of that. But when it comes to so many aspects of ministry for me, I felt like I had to be so prepared for, whether it was doing a podcast or whatever. Okay. So like, for my Sunday nights or Sunday mornings, I tried to come so prepared, and I was in a lot of ways shutting out the way that God wanted me to be able to present things in that given circumstance, in that setting. And so because I had to stay so focused on the notes that I had pre-planned, that I wasn't being my authentic self on who he wanted to be, who he wanted me to be in that situation. And so just really, just honestly now in 2021, winging a lot of things, which sounds weird. But when it comes to that, like don't get me wrong, I can be prepared and I will be, if it's a sermon or something like that. But, like jotting down these questions 3 minutes before we started hitting the record button, and Bridget's giving us that look right now because that's what Zach and I did. But yeah, it's trusting God in all those circumstances, because he's created me for this situation and to be able to just go with it.
Well said. Very deep theological question I have.
Uh-oh.
What is the proper ratio of milk to cereal?
Oh, man. I didn't know that was a thing until I married my wife.
Well, according to Spurgeon.
I'm looking up what A.B. Simpson had,
what did Tozer think about this? As I've gotten older, I use less milk. And I feel like it used to be like almost a 1-to-1 ratio, but now anymore, I just need the milk to wet the cereal a bit, and then every bite just has a little bit. Yep. I would say cereal 2, milk 1.
Okay.
Are you a 2%er? The 2% milk?
When it comes to cereal, I will sacrifice what my body does not like, which is dairy.
Oh, yeah.
And I will use 2% in my cereal.
Otherwise, you normally don't drink.
Otherwise, I usually go with almond or soy.
And that would be the thing. So I guess I'm an even, like cereal to milk matched up ratio. And that's because we use sweetened vanilla almond milk at my house. That's what we have. And so I'm still a child in so many ways of my life because Fruity Pebbles will be my cereal. Like,
so good.
Yeah, Fruity Pebbles are so good. And so, I want my milk to get, that fruity goodness soaked in with the vanilla almond. So that's how I roll.
I'm an unsweetened almond milk gal. But I don't like Fruit Loops or Fruity Pebbles or anything like that. Never. Even as a little kid. Nasty.
You like mini wheat things?
What do you eat, Gretchen? Come on.
I eat
All brand.
Raisin Bran.
Gotta get my fiber.
I'm actually really not a big cereal person, but if I'm going to have cereal, I want Honey Nut Cheerios.
Oh, that's good.
Those are good.
Yeah.
I'm definitely on a just enough milk. I want the cereal to be crunchy. I don't want to end up with soggy cereal.
Yes. And I think that's why I use less milk too, is because if there's too much, it just gets soggy and that ruins the whole experience. And some cereals are worse when they're soggy than others. I like Captain Crunch.
Oh, yeah.
But I've found that I like the generic Berry Colossal Crunch more than the regular. I'm usually a name brand guy, and I know people will argue it's the same thing.
I know.
It like some of them are, but some of them are definitely not. But I prefer the generic Berry Colossal Crunch. That's my go-to.
Do you have a final question, or was that my final? I can't remember how many you did.
You still have a fun one, don't you?
I have my serious one.
Oh, the serious
The pizza one was the fun one.
Okay,
I
go
thought
for
that
it.
was serious.
Okay, my question. What methods or outlets do you guys use to bring yourself back to balance when your life feels hectic?
That's really good. I'm gonna have to think on that one for a minute.
And like it doesn't have to be super spiritual or anything. I don't want to necessarily just hear like, I just pray. When life gets hectic, the only way to calm down is pray. I'm like, well, that'll help. But like, what are things that you do that are an outlet for you? That was me stalling a little bit so that Josh could think about it.
Do you have an answer to? I mean, you don't have to give it right now, but
I've got some things.
That's your go-to way of balancing.
Gretchen, do you have anything?
I love alone time. I'm an introvert, which I didn't actually know that until a couple years ago. I was always terrified of being alone, which is really funny to me. I mean, it's not funny, but it makes sense that the enemy would twist that because it actually is really rejuvenating to me to be alone. I try to make sure that I have time each week for Sabbath, that it's just me. So that's a big thing. Another thing, this is the first thing that came to mind. This is obviously not an all human thing, but safe family members and friends. For me, when I feel really overwhelmed, my favorite centering thing is to have someone put their hand behind my shoulder blades, like just right in the center of my back. Don't rub my back. Just, I need to know that someone's a physical touch person. You are too. Just to have someone are we all physical touch?
Yes.
Okay. So just to have again, I'm when I get upset or when I get sick or when I get angry, I actually don't usually want physical touch. It's get away from me. But it's just kind of having that and I've done some inner healing stuff about that, of some people actually have their soul settle like that. Some people it's in their belly, some people it's in their chest, some people it's in their back. And so for me, it's just very comforting.
You do that for other people too, I've noticed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Because I've noticed, and of course you ask, but you tend to put your hand right in between their shoulder blades. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've noticed that.
Very disarming.
Don't
walk up to people and don't just randomly do that. You have to be in their close circle.
You're just get ready for this. You're going to be so relaxed. Don't do that at the grocery store, especially
to a stranger.
Especially in a time like this when we're still supposed to be socially distant.
I would say I've got to go out of town with my wife.
Cool.
Like I've got to go away for a weekend. I love my kids, obviously, but parents, we all understand. Like you get away with your spouse because she's home for me more than anything, and so just to be able to that will always get me right back on track. So.
Yeah, I feel like we've touched on mine a little bit earlier. Of just I do relax and play video games. I feel like I've been told before that that's not a way that you can rest by some people who just didn't know.
Clearly, they've never been an imposter and was able to knock out all the crewmates.
And part of the thing is too, like the things that I play have usually deep storylines that like I connect to, and to me it's just like watching a movie or watching a show or whatever. And especially this year too, it's been really nice going out and doing some woodworking stuff because you're just cutting away, you're taking a bunch of rough lumber and creating something, and then you get to be proud of it at the end of it and say, cool, I did this. And so just those hobbies and things that I can go and I don't have to live up to any expectations, or it's all just things that I can do for just me that are relaxing, and I don't have to worry about what's somebody gonna think about this or whatever, and just fun hobbies that I enjoy help kind of bring that chaos back to the center.
I think for me, the self-assessment question that I always ask with those types of activities that can go either way, that can either be healthy or unhealthy, is am I using this experience to lean in or to numb out?
Oh,
right.
Because I can have connection time hanging out with a friend and watching a movie, but I can also binge Netflix to avoid pain. Or I can go ahead and enjoy a really nice dinner and that be really good. Or I can run to food to numb out. So it's all kind of just asking those hard questions of anything you have in life, video games, Bible reading.
Yeah.
It can be the same thing. It can be an avoidance of real issues. Like, let me just go pray and read my Bible. Well, you're numbing out. You're not actually leaning in. So that's always kind of my question I love that question, Zach, about the balance is this experience something I'm with integrity can say I'm using it to lean into my life and lean into what God's doing, not to numb out from the hard things.
Well, and just a quick point on that too is, to me, it's like, am I just overworked and stressed, or am I angry, or am I is there some deeper rooted issue that I'm just going to walk away from and not deal with? If that's the case, then those things, those are more dangerous for me to just sit down and watch Netflix because I'm like, forget that. But sometimes it's just like, I feel overworked, I'm a little bit tired, and I just want to clear my mind. Like, to me, that's when I'm like, cool, this is a great outlet.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for joining us today. We've had some fun. We've learned that the three of us here are correct about pineapple on pizza.
Absolutely.
I feel like we've learned a lot about each other.
Yeah.
And as always, we want to encourage you guys to just engage with us on social media, whatever that may be. Let us know what your thoughts are on pineapple on pizza, or your outlets, or your deep theological questions about cereal and milk. So until next time, we thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.